富、名声、力、この世の全てを手に入れた男、海賊王ゴールド・ロジャー。彼の死に際に放った一言は人々を海へ駆り立てた。
俺の財宝か？欲しけりゃくれてやる。探せ。この世の全てをそこに置いてきた。
男たちはグランドラインを目指し夢を追い続ける。世はまさに大海賊時代。
ありったけの夢をかき集め、探し物を探しに行くのさ。ワンピース。
One Piece is my favorite series of all time. I have never felt more attached to any characters or any world. I have never felt more emotional with story beats or character plot twists or story plot twists than with One Piece. So first of all, what are people's many complaints about One Piece before they ever even give it a shot? The length of it. But with me, I see it as a almost never-ending journey. And how many times have I seen that people are judgmental before they even start One Piece? And let me tell you, they get a bite of it. They get a little fork. They get a little fork, they take a little bite of it, of their little slice of One Piece, the first little couple episodes, the first arc, and then they can't put it down. It's like, it happens, I would say like 90% of the time. One thing I love about Oda's writing is that he rewards people who pay attention. He rewards people who enjoy the story, who are very perceptive, because let me tell you something. How many times in One Piece have you seen something in the first, I don't know, let's just say for an example, the first episode, right? Just an example. And then 200, 300 episodes down the line, that was actually a huge connection to a later plot point. But if you missed it, you missed it. But if you paid attention, you're rewarded with being perceptive, with enjoying the story. And that's what I love about One Piece, is that it feels rewarding. I'm not even lying to you when I say this. There is a whale later on in the series, once you start One Piece, that you will not feel anything for it initially. And then when it's connected later on in the story, you're going to be like, bro, what? Wait, what? I promise you, there are so many moments in One Piece that feel exactly like that, that are exactly like that. It rewards you for loving the series, and boy, do I love this series. One Piece has its silliness, and that's why I love it so much. That's why everyone was surprised whenever the One Piece live action actually was received well, because of how goofy and whimsical and majestical One Piece can be. It is a very whimsical journey. But let me tell you something. When Oda knows how to write emotions. He knows how to draw emotions, and he knows how to make emotional stories, let me tell you. It's gotten to a point where my favorite pastime is watching One Piece reactors get to, like, you know, the big moments throughout the series and just lose their minds. I mean, I can't count how many times I've seen people start crying when Nami says, "Help me." I mean, at this point, I don't even have enough fingers and toes to start counting how many times I've seen people start bawling their eyes out. And I live off of it. I do. I live off of it. And I do it again, and I'm gonna do it again. And I have never felt more in a story that is supposed to be whimsical, full of love and joy and freedom. And I'll get back to, if you are a One Piece enjoyer, you know the theme of freedom within the story of One Piece. And the theme of freedom is one of my favorite themes throughout all media, because it is something I resonate with. And One Piece explores that theme so well within its characters. I promise you that if you start One Piece and you get that first taste of it, there's gonna come a point in time where Nami says, "Help me." And you're not gonna know any context for what's happening through my sentences alone, but there's gonna come a point in time where Nami says, "Help me." And you're gonna sit there, popping off. Some of you might even cry. And I promise you, when you get that first taste of One Piece, you're gonna love it. You are in for such a journey. Give it a fair shot. Watch the first couple episodes. Take it a day at a time. Don't take it 100 chapters at a time, 100 episodes at a time. Take it at your own pace. There is no race to catch up in One Piece. Enjoy it. Because let me tell you something. As a person who's fully caught up in the manga and the anime, I wish I could start all over again. I wish that I could forget all of One Piece and enjoy it again. Take your time, man. It is such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful story. And I love Monkey D. Luffy as a character.
洞窟じゃなくてここは蛇のお腹の中だって。ああ、ナミ無事だったか。ナミおいナミしっかりしろ。ナミ私はこっちだ。
Luffy is the type of character that's silly on the outside, but will literally die. Anybody who gains his favor, he will die for. He will, quite literally, as he has done before, declare the entire world government as his enemy if it means that one of his allies, one of his friends, one of his crewmates is safe. Luffy is somebody who, on the outside, is dumb. He's silly, he's kind of funny, he's goofy, he's reckless. But those who know Luffy's character know that he is a very emotionally intelligent character. He will oftentimes know how people feel more than they themselves know how they feel. Luffy is a phenomenal character, and quite honestly, is probably my favorite protagonist of any series ever. And the more that you watch One Piece or read One Piece, the more that you enjoy the series, the more you become attached to his character and his ambitions. If I had to choose one word to describe Luffy as a character, it would have to be free. I think his character embodies freedom. This series embodies freedom. And whatever Luffy wants to do, he's gonna do. He's gonna try to the best of his ability to get it done. And the very fact that he set out on the open seas to become the king of the pirates is a testament to that. There is no one special person on the ship. Luffy understands that without his crew, without even one of his crewmates, he would be nothing. He cannot become the king of the pirates without his crew, and he understands that. There is this mutual ride or die mentality within the Straw Hat crew that you see deepen with every single arc. And that's what makes Luffy the GOAT.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
俺はモンキー・D・ルフィ。お前らを超えて海賊王になる男だ。
One of the funniest parts about One Piece that people always get caught off guard by is that they think that it's a happy-go-lucky story with happy-go-lucky characters. And boy, let me tell you, this series and the themes and subjects that are tackled in this series will have you crying on the bathroom floor. I'm going to show you an image on the screen, okay? And you're not going to have any context for this, but I want you to start One Piece, okay? And I want you to get to the point where this image on the screen is where you are currently at. When you get to this point, I want you to come back to this video. Like this video, bookmark it, dislike it, I don't care. And I want you to come back to this video and I want you to give me your honest thoughts on the series. Genuinely. I don't mean this from like viewer retention, subscribe. No, I want to know how you feel about the story once you get to this screenshot. when you see this episode, I want to know how you feel. Because when I first came across this specific scene at this specific chapter and story point, this specific episode, I remember crying. I was very emotional when I saw this scene, and I would love to know how you felt, because chances are this is the moment that makes One Piece fans stick for the ride. This is the moment in the story that gets people onto the ride as fans forever. This is the moment that made Ride or Dies Ride or Dies. Stick with it, and you will be rewarded with a series so peak, you'll end up sounding like me. The premise of One Piece is fairly simple. You have Monkey D. Luffy setting out to form a crew and find the One Piece. And the one who finds the One Piece gets to become the king of the pirates. And along the way, going from island to island, the secrets of the world start to unfurl. What originally is a pretty simple journey ends up becoming an extraordinary adventure.
Ice Age.
A lot of the antagonists in One Piece are well written. Some hit more than others, but a lot of the antagonists in One Piece have reasons for doing what they're doing. I mean, we still don't know why he walks like that, though. Like, he just walks like that. There's got to be something wrong with him. But what I love about One Piece is that a lot of the antagonists are compelling. They are very hateable, and at the same time, they can be relatable. If One Piece explores the theme of freedom, and we see Luffy experiencing it, then the antagonists have that freedom to go down whatever path they choose. If I talked about the antagonists in full, this would be a 75-minute video. So, I forgot to mention that there's also queer representation. Yep, there is queer representation. Shout out to Ivankov, the GOAT. And we can't forget Bon Clay. We love you very much. Mwah. Oda is woke, baby. And for those who know, Sanji and Zoro. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, the One Piece community would not be the same if the queer community didn't exist. That's all I'm saying. So, what are the ways that you can enjoy One Piece? Because there are so many ways that you can hop in, especially with the remake coming out. Yes, a One Piece remake coming out eventually in the future. The truth is, every way that you can start One Piece is valid. You can watch the anime, you can read the manga, you can watch the live action, which was surprisingly pretty good for newcomers. I loved it personally as a One Piece fan, so there's that. If you're going to dive into the world of One Piece through the anime, you might want to consider watching it through One Piece. It is a community-made version of One Piece. One Piece removes the issues that can bog down the anime experience for a lot of people. Cuts down the filler and it cuts down the pacing issues, because I highly recommend the anime as I watched it and it's what I got into One Piece with. So I have love for it, and to this day I love the anime. There's not really much to say about the manga. To me, it is the best week-to-week experience when it comes to the manga world. It's amazing. Not really much to say about it though. You just read the chapters. That's pretty much it. But there it is. There you go. I'll leave a link to One Piece in the description below. And if you want to dive into that, go ahead. But if you love fillers and you don't mind the pacing issues, you can just watch One Piece wherever you can. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed the video, and you can now enjoy the journey, the adventure, the epic that is One Piece. Thank you for watching the video. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you when I see you.
This man, Luffy. Did y'all hear what Luffy said? This man said this is my peak. Nah, bro, this is the peak of mankind. Yo, literature peaks. Bro,